everyone, it's Raquel Bowman here, and today I'm here sharing with you a new layout for Hip Kit Club. For this layout today, I'm going to be working with the August sketch, which is this one here. I really love the diagonal design, but I also just love how everything's sort of concentrated in the middle. I'm going to be scrapbooking this photo of my little man, and recently he's taken a bit of a shining. He's just turned 2 and he's taken a shining to the iPad. Now this is actually my iPad, but it seems to be more the kids lately, and he loves watching different shows on there, as well as there's a heap of ABC and those sorts of games. So it's been a battle of sharing. We have one iPad in the house and I have 2 children, so it's yeah, that's been a fun, interesting time. So I wanted to document about that, and I do want to include some journaling on this page. So I've got my white cardstock from the cardstock add-on as my background, and I'm still using my July kits. Now I have my August kits here, but I really wanted to create another layout with my July kits because I feel like I haven't really had a lot of use with those yet. So what I've actually done is I've got some of the August cut files, and I arranged them on my software so that I knew that I wanted to cut certain things out of this blue exclusive paper, certain things out of the yellow, and then a title out of the black. So I cut and arranged it on my software and then popped it onto my mat to fit so that I could get those exact cut files cut on those certain pattern papers. So I'll show you what I've got. I've got this is a new mat. My poor mat was just not even. I tried to restick it a few times and it was well past its use by, I think. So I just found and really liked this little love you, and I thought that that would go well with the sketch being on that diagonal. Then what I have is I wanted to incorporate into the flags that go down the page. I've got a little bit of that paper that I thought I could cut. And then I have a couple of hearts which I thought I'll just add into layers. Now my focus of my page today is on ephemera, so I'll definitely try and incorporate a lot of that onto my layout. There's those, and then the last thing that I've got, which I'm going to have to do, my mat is super sticky, off camera, is I've just cut that floral cut file, as you can see there, and a few of the leaves. And I know it's a boy page, but I think that when you layer things like florals in a certain way, I feel like they can work on a boy page. I don't hold myself back from doilies and from florals just because it's a page about my son. The papers that I've chosen, I thought I might incorporate that diamond with some whip spackle into the design as well. And the papers I've chosen to use, and this is really the reason why I wanted to use this kit again, is because I haven't cut into this gorgeous paper yet and I really love it. So I thought that what I'd do is say cut out some of the coloured sections and maybe one of the white sections, so I've sort of got a soft either blue or green with that pop of white and black. Then I of course love this one, and because I've got the extra pattern paper, I've already used one whole sheet of this, but I wanted to use another one. And then I've just got this gorgeous black and white stripe as well. So they're the colours that I want to incorporate, and I'm going to just speed you up now, get creating with the sketch. I love doing sketches because they take a bit of the guesswork sometimes out of a design, and I also love that you can adapt and include your own little touch on them as well. So although this sketch, say, is diagonal and it has the photo amongst the flags, I thought you could even place the photo above where the banners are and have your title with the banners. So you can adapt and modify the sketches. You don't have to be stuck to exactly how it is. So I'll speed you up and I'll get creating with these July kits. So I begin by just cutting out the pieces for the banners. So like I mentioned, on this pattern paper, I wanted to cut out some of the blue pieces, some of the white, and then some of the yellow. I do cut the green pieces and don't end up using them on the layout. I just ended up wanting to just incorporate a blue, yellow, white sort of black colour scheme. But I do cut the green out just in case at this point. And what I'm going to do is just with those papers, just find any sort of sections of the papers that I think might work. So I loved that watercolor type design, and there was sort of a blue and yellow print within there that I thought I might use, so I've grabbed that out. And now I'm just cutting sort of banner ends out of these pattern paper strips. So to do that, what I do is just fold the end in half, and I'll find the middle point, and then I'll cut a line up the center, and then I'll cut the triangle out from either end, and that sort of makes a nice even I guess you could say triangle point to those ends, which is what I was after. So when I'm layering these pieces, I'm trying to get a variety of the color, and so the white striped or white pattern pieces aren't too close to each other, or there isn't too much blue and there's a little pop of yellow there. So that's what I'm working on there, is just trying to scatter them enough that it's pleasing to look at. I'm placing my photo on top just to see if I think that will work and whether there's enough pattern there. And then, as I mentioned before, I'd cut those pieces on my Cameo, so I'm sort of arranging those and seeing how I think they might look on the page. And now I'm just working on some embellishing. So a fun tip that I have for you is sometimes those Project Life cards have some really cute little either patterns or sentiments on them. So what I've used there is just my tab punch, and it's a We Are Memory Keepers one, just to punch out something. I think it said hello something. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I've done this layout. So I'm actually doing this voiceover now in September, and I would have created this around the start of August, I think it was. So it's been a bit of time between creating this layout and now doing a voiceover. So that was just a tab, and I've just popped that at the top of the layout. I just liked the way that looked, and now I'm looking through the exclusive ephemera, and I've pulled out that enjoy word and then some of those little word strips. What I'll also do in a moment is that Project Life card with the globe I'll fussy cut out, and I'm backing my photo with the pattern paper now. And the reason that I've chosen that black is just because I always print a white border on my photos. That black just really helps that photo stand out even more, and I like the pop that it brings to the page. And I know that I've said this on my previous video that I uploaded, how much I love that white background with then some color and pops of black on it. I just think it looks really effective, and it really helps your layout stand out. So I'm going to add that to the page as well, and I'm happy with the placement of those banner pieces and how they're sort of working, so I'm going to adhere those down. And because they're working on that diagonal, I obviously can't put my T-square ruler up against the edge of the page, but I can sort of use it on that diagonal as a bit of a guide to make sure that I'm keeping all the papers sort of at that same angle when I'm adhering them down. So I adhere those down, and then I'm popping some foam behind my photo. And I know this question's been asked a lot recently, especially on my big picture class as well, about the foam. And it's just a foam from a craft store here in Australia, and I know that you would get the foam sheets at Michael's and places like that if you're in America. And all I do is just apply adhesive to one side, And then obviously when I'm gluing it to my page, I apply adhesive on the other side as well. I know that you can get adhesive backed foam as well, which would be a great option. And the question was about more the acidity and against my photo, but what I always tend to do is layer a pattern paper behind my photo anyway, so my foam isn't actually touching my photo, so I'm not really worried about the acidity. So I hope that explains that for some people. And what I've done while I've been talking about my foam is I've just added a few whip spackle triangles to 3 sections of the page. So one on the right near that cluster that I was working on, one on the left near that enjoy cluster, and then one towards the bottom of the page as well. So just forming a triangle again, but adding a nice little bit of texture to that section of the page. I'm going to adhere down this Love You, which was one of the exclusive cut files, and that I've just used the fine line bottle adhesive just because it's got quite a narrow little tip and it's going to sort of sit along the top of my photos, so I didn't really want to put the tape runner along there. It just wouldn't have applied very nicely. So I'm using the fine line bottle as well just to adhere down some of those die cuts and bits and pieces. I'm also using a roll of foam tape, which I'll alternate between the foam sheet or foam tape or foam dots, depending on what I'm trying to stick to my page and how much room I actually have behind the die cut or behind that piece as well. So that little globe's been fussy cut out and I was really happy with how that looked. I really liked that little detail on the page. And then I'm adhering down that exclusive floral piece, and I think that was in one of Kim Watson's files, and then I'm adhering this heart as well. And then shortly what I'll do is add those leaves to my floral piece as well. So that's actually the reverse of that blueprint, is that black, and again it just adds that pop against that white and gives a nice little detail to that cluster. My next step is just adding a couple more of these word strips down, and I've also added a chipboard piece from the Project Life pack from that kit. That little arrow is the puffy, exclusive puffy sticker, and then I've added a few of those little Swiss cross type pieces as well to the page, as well as some of those dots. And I think I mentioned on one of my July hip kit layouts how much I love those dots from that puffy sticker pack. They are just so cute. They're different to an enamel dot, obviously, because they're from the puffy sticker pack, but they don't have a domed sort of top. Yeah, I really like how they look. So I'm adding my strip journaling, and now I'm leaving you with some close-ups. So thanks for watching today, and I have another video to share with you shortly, which is another hip kit catch-up video. So I'll see you all soon. Bye everyone.